All right, everybody. Hi. Uh, we're back with the animation desk because Corey demanded, and we do what Corey says. So, for the next several hours, I'm going to be going back in time, drawing characters I haven't drawn 30 years, over 30 years. But let's see how we do. This is called an animator's rough. You can see how beautiful it is, just gorgeous. And my job was to take and draw the cleanup. I don't have this pegged. See, and give it that really beautiful line quality, but also get in there and really hyper draw, like really hyper structure. Um, to be a career assistant, which is what I was, not by choice. Just, I got promoted to animator when I was 21. I made it. And then we had the strike and we lost the strike. So everybody ran back to their little peg holes. And I went back to cleanup. I never thought I was the best cleanup artist. Not when you're hanging around with people like Laura Lane and Dory and these amazing artists. Um, but I just kept studying and kept working hard. But I was an animator, and I was trained as an animator since I was 13. So, in my opinion, the assistant needs to know a lot about animation. I mean, you need to be like an animator, like the people you're working with, you're cleaning up. You need to be able to see their subtleties and then be able to go over and hyper draw all the structure and really see how well they're putting in. Like the fact that this eyeball goes beyond, this line, it really pushes out. You see it? I pushed it. I pushed it out there. Um, really pushed. Yeah, I learned that, you know, really young. And having consistent line quality is important so you don't get jitters. And so I'd have to close that line with digital. Okay, so we're going to go back to different characters and see how we do. I haven't drawn these characters in over 30 years. I mean, this is 1990. I'm not good at math. Let's see, 1990, 2000, 10, 20, 35 years ago, I worked on this. So let's see how we do. This was Batty, and I worked a lot on this character. Um, he's 7 heads tall, you can see on the model sheet. This is the original model sheet from the show. You can see they really break things down. We didn't do it. This was from Croyer Productions. I didn't work for Croyer Productions. I worked for a studio called Hyperion. And but what happened is Hyperion subcontracted uh, from the Croyer. So I didn't meet the Croyers for years later. We became very good friends. Um, but I was working for Hyperion, working with a guy named Stan Summers, who was brilliantly talented. So I'm going to rough it with the blue and then tie it down with the red. Here's the problem I'm going to have with this character. He's pretty much all eyeballs, and he has to have a cranium, and he has to have a skull. So, good luck. I need something that's stable, and then I can squash and stretch around that. Okay? I can't squash and stretch the skull here, because that needs to be, what's housing the brain. Okay. So the eyes are going forward. Boom, boom. I'm going to give him that little mask like to do at Disney. It's pretty funny. Okay, so we go with that. Notice I'm not wearing my headphones to be able to talk to you guys. So let's do that. Let's bring this here. And we're going to bring it around so we can put in the nose. Okay, I'm going to drink some coffee. When I worked in the studio, I wasn't a coffee drinker. So I had to compensate for that by drinking my weight every day with Coca-Cola. Okay, you guys are gonna hear the pencil sharpener. I have a camera mounted to the pencil sharpener. All right, here's eyeball 1, eyeball 2. And then it's exactly what we teach at our school. Once you start at our school, you are learning right from the start what is needed for the, put this, hold on, this on pause. Right when you start at our school, you're learning this level of drawing, but they don't know it. Okay. So we got 6 and 7-year-olds. When we start out, I'm learning structure and how things fit. They just don't know. But then if they pursue, then, hey, you don't have to unlearn anything. Okay, so we've got this nose. And then the cross contours are important because I can take the pencil and I have my eye on the model sheet. See, I have my eye here, and I'm running my pencil and my eye at the same time. Boom, right there. That's where that fold is. So you got to get used to using cross contour for a measuring tool. We know we use it for to show form. See, like this, it goes around. But we're also using it as a measuring tool. Okay, and then he's got this triangle shape here. And then it lines up above the eye, so it'll come out like that. So it's like when you're doing your still lifes. I have a straight line and I got a curved line here. Really looking at that model sheet. Model sheet's the Bible. I didn't do the model sheet. I don't have opinions on the model sheet. It's been approved, and that's what we do. So if I take this and turn it into a box shape, and then I draw a perspective on that, that'll give me an idea where the nostrils are. And I can even say again, there we go, boom. So that way I can have the nostrils. They're floating in this shape, so I have to try to tie it down so it will stay in the same place. It's narrower here, and it's wider on the bottom. Narrower here. Has to be in perspective, so we'll draw a line like this, put it in perspective. So this one's going to be smaller than this one. Okay, so all of those classes that you're taking at your schools, you know, if you're in a good solid art department, the straights and curve, the perspective, all of that is going to be very important when you're doing it. It all gets used in here. All right, so now I've got this brow, but the eyeball, so here's the eyebrow here, okay? So it's going to come around. And then this eyeball really sticks out. So you can go like this, and we'll use a perspective. So we'll go back like that. Turn it into kind of a box shape maybe. So this round becomes a box shape because I need to place that eye. So I'll go like that. And then I can put in an X, and that's where the eye will be, the pupil. And then it's got this nice round eyeball. He's got really round eyes because he's kind of, I think it was Robin Williams was the voice, and he's my hero. So it's kind of fun working on Batty because I love Robin Williams. Okay, so there we go. Did I ever meet him? No. We were always behind the big metal doors. They didn't want people to meet us. We were the artists. It was really funny because at one point in Disney World, okay, here's some fleshy area here. They actually made a ride out of watching the animators. I wasn't working there, so what do I know? But could you imagine working all day and looking up and people are staring at you? I mean, I'm at drawing teachers who wouldn't bother me, but that's a little creepy. I mean, what if you pick your nose, 'Cause I pick my nose a lot. Um, what if you fall asleep? Sometimes you doze off. Imagine somebody going to the head of the ride going, that animator right there in, cubicle 405 or whatever is sleeping, that's Sheldon, he dozes off. I mean, it's just, I don't know, that was kind of creepy. Okay, so now this eye follows the perspective also, so it's smaller. See, and it comes in here. And then this eyeball here has to go in perspective, so that's smaller. Oh, he's cross-eyed. Okay, so we're gonna go here. So we're gonna go like that. So that's gonna be a little bit smaller. Sometimes you can do forced perspective, so then we'll come in a little bit here, but it's still poking out. So with this blue pencil, you have all the freedom in the world. You can do whatever you want, figure it out. So that's square. There's that eyeball. Okay, so we got that. He's gonna need a cheek. So this line here will go here. This is gonna go all the way around, and this is gonna fit here. So we have this here, we got this here, and we got the cheek. Okay, so he has, kind of fit on it, fits onto to this ball shape. Now he's got these really big eyebrows. And then this one's going to be smaller because it's in perspective. So again, all the stuff that we're teaching you in the art schools, and we teach it at our place, we're just not accredited. But if we were, you could probably get a degree. Just add on you just add on the academia and we'd be set. I've kind of thought about that at some point to become accredited, but I don't know. I couldn't do it. Okay, so now the distance from here to here, I'm doing a cross contour. And then he's got this weird thing that comes over. It's like a cup that's like sealed to the head. Can you guys see this okay? I'm going to go over the red. All right, now this is an S shape. And if I measure, say if I measure it like this, it goes into the eye. So let's say it goes to the center line, okay? So if I go from the center line to there, wow, that's really far out there, but that's fine. Okay, so, it's roughly gives you an idea. That has to fit inside, so that's your construction when you're doing your figure drawing. So we're heavy on this at our school. Remember, in my mind, when I'm teaching somebody so that they could work on a very high-end feature film. Well, that person might be 7, they don't know it, but I'm saying, no, let's do this, let's have some fun. And then all of a sudden things just really happen. Okay, he's got this line coming out this way, and he's only got it on his left side. That's interesting. Man, this was so long since I worked on this character. Boom. Okay, so we got that. And then he's got this coming. You have to draw through. You have to draw through. You know who you are. You're in charge of a department, and you told your students you don't have to draw through. That was a crime. You know who you are. That made me go cold. If you don't draw through, you're fired. So you just fired everybody in your department. So it haunts me. I've lost sleep from it. And I couldn't do anything because I was not. I didn't want to be the boss, but I wasn't the boss. But how you could say that, I don't even know. So we're going to come up. We're going to go down this way. That's going to line up this part of the eye over here. So you can subdivide the eye. You have to know where it goes because you're doing this drawing, 720 times per minute. If you're on 2s, if you're on 1s, you're doing it 700. You're doing it 1440 times a minute. that thing's going to wobble. So you have to be able to figure out how to get this character to stay in one place. Okay, so we're going to go this way. Let's see, this here. It comes up. It goes down. This is a real flaw in the design because this shape right here, if it's a color break, it's gonna breathe. So I was probably sweating over this when I was doing the cleanup because these distances have to stay the same. So I'm kind of glad I didn't work on Iron Giant because they put stripes on the boy's shirt. It'd probably take just as long to get those stripes right as it will to draw the whole face. Because if you don't have it measured right, it's going to breathe. Those lines are going to breathe. And the people aren't going to be focusing on the face. They're going to be focusing on those stripes. And the other thing is like when you're drawing the eyes, you're focusing on here, but it's the negative shape that's the problem because it's going to breathe. It's a real issue. The animators don't have to worry about it as much. Okay, now he's got this cool straight line. So we got this, and then we have a straight line that's not going as far. That's really wild. Man, it's been so long since I've drawn this guy. So it's here, comes down, and you got that straight line here. Okay, so that's pretty cool. The neck will have to go from behind the ear, just like on the humans. So we'll do that. And then be on the other side here. We draw through, we draw through, we draw through. So I have to draw through. Okay. Okay, there we go. And then his body, I don't know, it's over here somewhere. I didn't really plan on drawing his body, but let's see. She is pretty. I drew her quite a bit. There he is. He's just got this weird triangle-shaped body. He's fighting. Since there's a model shoots for that. So let's see. This will have to fit in somehow. Again, I don't have the body model sheet right here, so that'll also be broken down. So I would go like this. I'd break it like that, and then he's got his the body part coming out like here. It goes right. He goes right into an arm, and then I would put kind of a circle shape or a box shape here. Okay, and it comes out, pokes out here with the chest, just looking. And then it looks like it's got a concave. So I'm really looking at concave, convex. So this is straight, convex. I mean, straight, concave, convex. And I just keep saying it in my head so that when I'm doing the drawing and I'm going concave, convex, straight, straight, concave, convex, straight, concave, it's like a song. And then it stays, after you've done the drawing, hundreds of times, it becomes kind of like in your head. All right, so we got that. And then he's got this hand. He actually has a hand. You see that? Which is kind of cool. And then that'll change quite a bit. A lot of information there. And this is Batty. Again, I drew him a lot, but it was so long ago. But what you see now is that it's the same formula. Now his ears are going from behind right here at the base of the cranium. So for that, I'll just use anatomy knowledge, which just come down to what would be the base. It'd be the mastoid bone. Going to come out with a triangle shape, which is going to line up with out here. See, it goes, if you look at the ear, it goes beyond this cylinder, comes way up there. But when he turns, it doesn't. But from more of a profile, it does. So we have that. And that will come down with the center of the head. So I got to find the center, which will be way back here. Okay, should have drummed down more. And then this will go to the other side of his eye. So that'll go, it comes down to here. So it goes like that. Bam. And then this is like a cup. So if I was doing a model sheet, I would kind of look at this as a cup. And it's coming down from the center here. And this is cleanup. So we've had people say, oh, you were just a cleanup artist. I actually had like professors. Oh, Sheldon was just a cleanup artist. You want to try it? You know, so that's when you know there's ignorance involved. You know, it's like, what? You know, and telling the students, well, Sheldon was just a cleanup artist. No, I was an animator who drew pretty well. Okay, now he's got this hair, which is going to go from this side here. But he's got it between here and here. So we're going to go from here. And it's this puff. And maybe this is, you know, it goes halfway. It'll move, you know, with the animation. But for this, you know, I might go like this. Find the center. Yeah, it needs to be higher than that. So, but I'd make these ears need to be taller. So it's going to go like this. You can also measure, you know, like you do in figure drawing and like you do in your still life. So you can measure and say from here. Oh, this is cool. So the puff lines up from here to the eye. So if we go up, there it is. So that makes it better. Okay. So that's the hair puff. And coming around like that. And then at our school, we learned cool, bitch, and wave. For the hair, this is the wave. So it guides the eye, and it's got to be uneven. We avoid tangents. So I'm going to go like that. Oh, let's see. So I got here. They're avoiding tangents on the model sheet. You can see, you know, everything is not touching the lines. So that's good job, model sheet. So I think I'll go beyond. And it's a curve and a straight, curve and a straight. Then that's big, so this one will be smaller. See? And then this one will come out here. I want to avoid tangents. I have a tangent snap to grid in my head. So I'm always constantly doing tangents. Put in the base first, like this, and then draw from the outside of it. So this is, it's 100% figure drawing, you guys. And that's Batty. So now we take the second level of tie down. You can see I'm automatically turning the disc. It's just without thinking. I want to get that same kind of a feel angle. I usually keep my hand in the same place. And I just move the disc. Because, you know, I usually have this up here. But I had to take the top bar out. This one could fit in. So usually I go like this. I'll keep my finger in the disc. So maybe we'll do that. So you'll be able to see. Maybe not. This is it's not my original. This just was given to me. It was from a real famous animator. You know, his grandson. I apparently went to high school with, and he said, I really want you to have this. I was really honored. So we're using a legacy here. And this overlaps. I don't usually like to go this way. I like to go like that, but I want to get this line just right. Once I have it, I'll flip the disc around and get that nice curve with the hand. So I'll get it right. Gonna come out to get that nice, because your hand goes really well like this. This is cramped. If you're always drawing and you're going like this, by the end of the day, the lines aren't going to be as pretty, and you're going to be really complicated, really, cramped. See, I'm going that way, but then I can turn it. I'm going to go thicker here, and then thinner, so you get that nice. I get some depth in there. Now, this is kind of fun. This is the apex here. I'm going to put the apex here. I'm not going to make it even. So like this is kind of even. So I'm going to push this forward. And then I'm going to go like here. And then I'm going to push this forward. So that it goes at angles. It's not lined up. So I get that detailed. And we teach that in the drawing part of our school. So you will know it. And you can zoom. We have a lot of people zooming. It's really fun. I'm all over the place. And this is not the final line quality. That'll be done with black. So I'm going to go straight line here, curve line here, and wide here. Same thing here, straight. I think it's straight on the outside. So if I'm straight here, I'll go straight here and curve. So I get that on the outside. Perspective. Okay, this thing here is a flesh draw through, draw through, draw through, draw through. So it's going to come around like that. I had a student ask a question. I was teaching a class, and the head of the department happened to be in the Zoom room. I was doing Zoom, and it was during COVID. And the student said, "Do you always have to draw through?" And the head of the department interrupted and said, "Well, I can speak for the faculty." And I'm thinking, I thought I was faculty. Okay, I'm not faculty. He said, "If you're doing a long pose, you don't have to draw through." And at that moment, I retired. So, and I have it in my head all the time. It's just be like saying, you don't have to stop at red lights. We had a situation once where couldn't get a hold of a neighbor. It turned out that somebody had picked up the person's daughter on a blind date, and the person doesn't stop at red lights. So this person who picked up this person's daughter, went through the red light, got hit by a truck, and the only person who died was this person's daughter. I have that in my head all the time. It's like, man, it's so scary. Because how do you know? And then the mom said to the other mom, if you knew my son, you never would have let your daughter get in the car with him because he doesn't stop at red lights. And, by telling somebody you don't draw through your characters, are you telling them you don't stop at red lights? I mean, to me, it's that important. It should be marked on the website. We don't stop at red lights here. It's just so scary because you're not going to make it. Like, here's this line. I'm going to put the pupil on the other side of the line. It's got to be consistent on every drawing. Okay. Oh, you got this line here. This is cool. It's coming down. It's not on the 3/4, but it's on the other one. So I don't know. I'd probably talk to the director on that one, or the lead. Say, hey, we're going to put that line there. Okay. I haven't drawn this character in so long. So what I would do is I would do the drawing, and then I would take it to the lead and have them draw over it. And the changes they would make would be, like a quarter of a line thickness off. And you just sit there and stare and look at your shoes and keep your mouth shut. And they'll draw over it, and then you go back and you practice it, and then you do it again. Well, I was a supervisor lead, but, if I was doing an in-between, say there was no work, anybody got any work? Yeah, I got some in-between. Okay. So there might be a breakdown artist, that's a lot of levels above the breakdown artist. But what I would do is I would bring my drawing to the breakdown artist and have them draw over it, because they're drawing the character every day. I'm not. Say, hey, would you go over this for me and make sure I'm doing it right? So doesn't bother me. There we go. And then I would go back to my desk and study their drawings. Thank them. Hey, thanks for going over my drawing, man. I appreciate it. And then I'd probably go back and show them the next one, because again, I'm not on that character. I'm just helping out. So we're drawing around, making sure it fits. See that? Draw through. This goes right here, but I'm going to bring it here. So there's the apex. So I'm going to bring this apex up here. You feel cut off right there. So the painter will stop painting at that point. Out of the field. Okay, so we got that. All right, and that's coming down around here. Our little puff hair is gonna, we've got that shape first, see? And then the hair comes outside the shape. It's got that little line right there. It's kind of cool. It's like a little string of a line. Then we come this way. Curve, straight. Curve, straight. Curve. Okay. A little bit more of a curve if you want to just have some fun. And then we're going to go. There's a little hair, I think. Yeah, there's another hair going like that. And then we have, and I got to measure it, because it can't be wobbling. I'll do that. Okay, and this is going in, and then we have that straight line. If you do a straight line, look at this line here, dot, 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 dot. So I'm looking at this dot, that dot, this dot, this dot. And then I come back, I look ahead of the pencil, and that'll give me a straight line. Okay. All right, and then this will go here. It's going to go behind the ear, but I don't want to have a tangent. See, I put it right to a tangent, so I know I do that, so I watch over it. I don't have to go to drawing therapy. I don't have to worry about it. I just know that I do it, and I watch over it. That's all. No big deal. So after I would be done with a scene, I would just put all the drawings down one at a time, and I would look for tangents, because I know that it was something that I do. Okay. I don't have the finished drawing of him, so I'm just gonna. There would be a whole body. Like, look at that. There's a tangent. You see, I got this line, and there's that line. Isn't that weird? It's just freaky. So it's like my hand goes for that. So, oh well. So it's still there. So I'm going to go like this and then bring this on the outside. Now I don't have a tangent. Tangent for 3 lines connect or barely connect. So convex, concave, convex, concave. This is the apex. It's off. So at that. And get this to a point. I think he's got a little hair coming off. And then that would go into the wing and stuff. He's got a little fingernail. So you got to memorize the characters. But in the movie, I drew him a lot. So, you know, I was flying through it. Then I did a lot of Zach and Crystal holding hands. Did a lot of those, probably most of them. And then Stan and I worked really hard on the ending. We did the end where the guy becomes the monster. Wow. You know, there's a lot of mats that was going to be used, you know, where you put down mats to get the glow. So we had to make sure that those were working really well. So we put a lot of time on that, you know, probably, you know, a couple of months, maybe a couple months. I don't remember, but I know that we were on it for a really long time. And Stan was just brilliant, just such a good artist. So we just worked together on it. I respect him a lot, and he treated me well. So Stan, if you're out there, let me know how you're doing. Okay. There we go. Did it work? Let Corey know, because Corey made me draw this character. Sheldon, you draw Batty. I haven't drawn Batty since before you were born, Corey. Gotta draw Batty. Okay, so there's Batty. All right. See you on the next one.